Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we're seeking out a very quiet place to read because Bhava Bhakti gets very shy reading around people. So I just let her pick the spot, and so we're here in Union Square, which is on 14th Street, and it's probably about as busy as Times Square. We're going to read anyway.
And George Washington's behind us.
Yes.
He was the president of the United States.
Yeah. Not just any president, he was the first president of the United States. Like that. Hare Krishna.
What, before Lincoln? I thought it was Lincoln.
No.
Yeah.
George Washington was first president of the United States. Lincoln, I think, was the 16th maybe or something.
Oh, right.
Maybe.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
I won't pass my life in the USA test, would I?
I don't think there is one. Okay. So what are we doing here?
Canto 4, chapter 21, text 12.
And if you remember from our last session, we started reading this verse, and then I talked so much that we didn't get a chance to read
Yeah, he
it.
taught more than the purport, basically.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo.
Alright, anyway. Text 12. Maharaj Prithu was an unrivaled king and possessed a scepter for ruling all the 7 islands on the surface of the globe. No one could disobey his irrevocable orders, but the saintly persons, Brahmanas, and the descendants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vaishnavas.
It might be better like that, facing.
Sorry about that, because when he touches the microphone, I know it. Yeah, so but he did it on live air transmission.
Live air transmission.
Purport. Sapta Dvipa refers to the 7 great islands or continents on the surface of the globe. Number 1, Asia. Number 2, Europe. Number 3, Africa. Number 4, North America. Number 5, South America. Number 6, Australia. And number 7,
Oceania.
Oceania.
No, Oceania.
Oceania.
Well, how do you say Australia? Oceania. Oceania. Australia. Oceania.
I'm not sure. In the modern age, people are under the impression that during the Vedic period or the prehistoric ages, America and many other parts of the world had not been discovered. But that is not a fact. Oh, there you go. Prithu Maharaj ruled over the world many thousands of years before the so-called prehistoric age. And it is clearly mentioned here that in those days, not only were all the different parts of the world known, but they were ruled by one king, Maharaj Prithu. The country where Prithu Maharaj resided must have been India, because it is stated in the 11th verse of this chapter that he lived in the tract of land between the rivers Ganges and Yamuna. This tract of land, which is called Brahmavata, consists of what is known in the modern age as portions of Punjab and northern India. It is clear that the kings of India once ruled all over the world, and their culture was Vedic. It's interesting, Devarita Maharaj has got a book out
Called?
Vedic India or something.
Searching for Vedic India.
And it actually shows, I haven't read it, but I'm aware of it. And it has all the different, like what Prabhupada is saying, evidences, I believe, of Vedic culture all around the world.
Yeah.
It's really interesting, you should get it.
We haven't read it yet, but you should definitely get it.
I wouldn't mind reading it, but I don't have any books here now, you know.
Well, you can get it on iBooks or Kindle.
I don't like online stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so if you're interested, there is a book like that for Devi Maharaj, and it does chronicle all the different, countries around the world where they have this, which is very interesting, like evidence of Vedic culture.
Okay, so next paragraph. The word Ashkalita indicates that orders by the king cannot be disobeyed by anyone in the entire world. Such orders, however, were never issued to control saintly persons or the descendants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu. The Supreme Lord is known as Achyuta, and Lord Krishna is addressed as such by Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. Senayor ubayor madhye ratam stapaya me Achyuta. Achyuta refers to one who does not fall because he is never influenced by the modes of material nature. When a living entity falls down to the material world from his original position, he becomes Chuta, which means that he forgets his relationship with Achyuta. Actually, every living entity is a part and parcel or a son of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When influenced by the modes of material nature, a living entity forgets his relationship and thinks in terms of different species of life. But when he again comes to his original consciousness, he does not observe such bodily designations. This is indicated in Bhagavad Gita 5:18 by the words Pandita Samadarshinaha. So, very interesting statement here. First, the meaning of the word achyuta, one who doesn't fall, it's infallible. But one who has fallen, well, that word infallible is interesting. We pronounce it infallible, but it actually, if you pronounce it correctly, is infallible. And chuta means to fall. So Prabhupada quotes that the fallen condition is a condition of forgetfulness. And what is that forgetfulness of? It's forgetfulness of our relationship with Krishna. That's why they say that to come into the material world, the first thing that happens is you become covered by avidya. Vidya means knowledge and avidya means ignorance. So first, our knowledge has to be stolen, our remembrance has to be taken away, and we basically exist in this place thinking, I am this body, and this is the only place that I know, this is where I belong. And it's interesting, I mean, yeah, look how many people are around here. I don't think many of them are thinking, oh, this is just a temporary place, I don't really belong here, I'm a spirit soul, God's in control, and let me do my service for God. The masses of people are just in a complete state of confusion, thinking that they know everything, or thinking that at least they know something, or thinking that they're getting somewhere or making some progress. It's not that we don't need to do anything, but what is the consciousness with which we do it? And I'm sure there are people out here who are God conscious. I just went to the DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles, to start the process of getting my driver's license. And when I went up to the window, the guy's name was Mr. Dutt. And he looked at me and he said, oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. And I thought, well, isn't that amazing? And he said, I am with this. I am doing this Hare Krishna thing. He said, I go to Brooklyn Temple. You know Brooklyn Temple, So it was very good. And then the black body guy who showed me to my seat to take the written test, I said to him, oh, can you help me out? Make it easy for me. And he said, no, you got this. It's okay. And I said, by your blessings, by your prayers. And he said, God bless you. Amen. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, there you go. So, like that, it's like that. So anyway, so the point being that we're all part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, but we forget. So
that was the point after all.
So try not to forget.
We will.
We what?
We will.
I bet we do.
Alright, let's not forget I'm reading now.
Okay.
It's the next
Let's
paragraph.
not forget I'm with.
Oh my god. This is the same purport, it's just the next paragraph. Because you could be forgiven for thinking we just read like a whole bunch of verses. Alright. Material designations create differentiation in terms of caste, color, creed, nationality, etc. Different gotras or family designations are distinctions in terms of the material body. But when one comes to Krishna consciousness, he immediately becomes one of the Achyuta Gotra, or descendants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus becomes transcendental to all considerations of caste, color, creed, and nationality. I get the impression you want to highlight that.
Highlight what?
Achyuta Gotra.
No, I already did it once before. I'm sure. I mentioned the Achyuta Gotra already.
Yeah, you did in the previous one.
Yeah, and you're a Achyuta Gotra, right?
Yeah.
I'm a Achyuta Gotra.
Oh, okay.
You're probably a different Gotra, but you don't know your Gotra. Any comments?
No.
Next paragraph in the same purport. Although you might be mistaken and think we've read like
No,
several
I said that. No, it's not funny when you say it.
Everyone's laughing now. Prithumaj had no control over the Brahmana Kula, which refers to the learned scholars in Vedic knowledge, nor over the Vaishnavas, who are above the considerations of Vedic knowledge. Which is interesting, you know, because you would think the king, he's in charge of everybody. He might choose a minister or two from the Brahmin collective, but still the rest of the Brahmins better fall in line under him. But that's just not the case. He doesn't have dominion over the Brahmanas, and he doesn't have dominion over the Vaishnavas. So, it is therefore said, Arche Vishnu Shila Dir Guru Shunada Matir Vaishnava Jati Budir Vishnurva Vaishnavanam Kalimala Matane Pada Tirtembu Buddhihi Shri Vishnu Namne Mantre Sakala Kalu Shehe Shabda Shamanya Budir Vishnu Sarveshwaresha Taritara Samadira Yasyava Nariki Saha. One who thinks that the deity in the temple to be made of wood or stone, who thinks the spiritual master in the disciplic succession is an ordinary man, who thinks the Vaishnava in the Achyuta Gotra to belong to a certain caste or creed, or who thinks of Charnamrita or Ganges water as ordinary water, is taken to be a resident of hell. And that's in the Padma Purana. I think that speaks for itself. Everything is said there. If you have any questions about that, because I could hear like you were thinking, well, what about this and what does that mean? Please put your questions in the little, what's the box called? Comments box.
Alright, here's our final paragraph. From the facts presented in this verse, it appears that people in general should be controlled by a king. Until they come to the platform of Vaishnavas and Brahmanas, who are not under the control of anyone, Brahmana refers to one who knows Brahman, or the impersonal feature of the absolute truth, and a Vaishnava is one who serves the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Well, I don't think that's going to work in this day and age.
Well, you can try next time a policeman comes along and asks you to do something. You can say, excuse me, sir, just so you're aware, your government has no jurisdiction over me because I'm a Vaishnava, I'm a servant of Vishnu, and I'm also a Brahmana, you know, got my thread here, and so therefore I don't have to pay attention to anything that the leader of the country has to say. I think probably you'd be in handcuffs in 0.2 seconds, or at least beaten senseless.
Okay. The point I was trying to make, is that it won't work because it's just controlled by a king. So I was just thinking of King Charles, you know? No one's going to listen to him. For me, I was a royalist. I am a semi-royalist still. But I lost all respect for King Charles. Yeah, I'm not trying to make a thing or controversial.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a political channel or anything like that.
Because he's actually a good guy, you know. He's into the environment, he's into this, he's into sustainability, you know, all that. He doesn't like all these modern buildings because they do look horrible compared to the traditional ones. But for me, you can't be keeping a mistress, and you know, you can't take the throne where you're divorced. And then he did make a promise to the nation. I just want to say that Camilla wouldn't become queen. She would not. But she's taken that title now, subsequent, because that's what happens. Time, you know, his mum's gone and everything. So my point is, these kings of back in the day were like, you would want to follow them and you felt sheltered. You know, they provided, it wasn't lacking. Now, you're like, yeah, it's just horrible.
Yeah.
I wonder how long, I wonder if, I reckon Prince William will make it to the throne personally, but I wonder if George, little George will, I wonder if he will personally. I'd be very surprised. I'll be dead by then, but I'll be surprised anyway, wherever I am.
Well, hopefully you'll be in the spiritual world.
Yeah,
You
but
won't
I'll
be
still be,
surprised.
oh, what happened down there?
Hopefully
Oh,
you'll given up your royalist mentality by then.
I hope so. Alright.
All right, everyone, that was it. One whole purport and verse. And yeah, there's so much that you can discuss, and we didn't even really get into it. I kept my mouth shut for most of the time.
Yeah.
So
Right.
thank you all very much for tuning in. And in case you didn't guess, we're in New York. Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.